Will the members of the Champions be able to reunite and overturn the unfair Kamala's law? What dark secrets will they discover together? Well, let's hop into the pages of Champions issue number 5 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, we're back at the Cradle Re-Education Facility where a bunch of the Champions members are currently being held, brainwashed, and tortured. Apparently, they don't even let these kids sleep anymore at night, instead endlessly haranguing them with pro-Cradle, pro-Kamala's law propaganda. I am actually very much reminded of that Simpsons episode, the leader is good, the leader is great, we surrender our will as of this date. Help comes though in the form of Viv Vision, who had a major epiphany at the end of the previous issue and has decided to try and make amends for all the wrong she's done. She's also not alone because Brawn, the totally awesome Hulk, is her backup. Yeah, that's right, Brawn kind of sat out all this outlawed business because he was away with the new agents of Atlas, but seriously, he's not asking any questions? He must have been really busy if he's not freaked out by the fact that Viv A was assumed dead and B assumed to have betrayed everybody because, well, she did. You know, for a super genius, Amadeus Cho sure is kind of stupid. It's while sneaking their way into the re-education facility, Brawn and Viv end up coming upon the dark secret that this place just so happens to be funded by Roxxon, aka the evil energy corporation that just so happened to try and assassinate that young eco-crusader all the way back in issue 1 that kicked off this whole outlaw storyline. You know, I don't think I have ever felt a reveal manage to simultaneously both bring the story full circle and yet also feel like something they made up at the 11th hour. Together, Viv and Brawn are able to rescue the captured members of the Champions team as well as rescue all the other young people who are being kept as political prisoners at the re-education facility. Meanwhile, back with the rest of the Champions team, they manage to make it back from their pirate adventure with the Marauders in just enough time for Riri to end up having a heart-to-heart with her mother. You'll remember that Riri was unsure about her future as a hero, but now after everything she's been through, she knows she wants to be a hero and wants to be a champion. Again, I'm not surprised that the same writer who wrote the Ironheart solo series is making sure that she gets the fullest character arc here in this story. Speaking of arcs, and I was in a nice callback to earlier on in the series, Miss Marvel and the rest of the team get together to shoot another one of their big videos to all of their followers. Only, you know, now Kamala feels like she doesn't have to go it alone, and they're actually doing it as a team this time, and not a moment too soon either, as it's that moment Viv and Brawn manage to find them. But wait, you're probably thinking, can't Cradle track them down? Hasn't been Cradle tracking them this whole time? No, actually, as Viv explains, they were actually deeply incompetent this whole time and only managed to track the team down because Viv was snitching. Viv comes clean about everything that she did and how wrong she was and how she was only trying to help and protect her new friends and that her weird robo-logic betrayed her, etc., etc., and they all pretty much forgive her right away because the story needs to wrap up, but also because, hey, she's a robot, what are you gonna do? She doesn't think like the rest of us. And now that the truth is all out in the open, we still need to have one last little debate, and Bombshell, aka the one champion member who's been drinking the Kool-Aid this whole time, decides to play devil's advocate as if they needed it. She says that while Kamala's law may have been put in place by a bunch of opportunistic, slimy, stuff shirt, spineless politicians and backed by the evil Roxxon corporation that was looking to punish them for always foiling their plans, at the end of the day, the inciting incident was an accident that was still very much their fault. Alright, we got that out of the way, good. Let's not actually do anything about that right now because, again, we gotta wrap all of this up. The Champions end up disseminating all the information they stole from Roxxon on the internet. This leads to a massive protest of the spineless politician pushing Kamala's law, and because he's shown to be such a pushover all throughout this series, he instantly starts getting on his knees and begging for forgiveness from the Champions, only for Roxxon to send their goon squad to both threaten and bribe him into manning up and staying the course. This leads to a big showdown between the Champions, the Roxxon goons, and the protesters that doesn't actually go anywhere. In fact, Kamala's law in general seems to not be going anywhere right now. The politician agrees to break ties with Roxxon, close the re-education facility, and roll back Cradle, but it seems that even though the Champions hold their heads high, this new law is going to be sticking around. Well, be sticking around so long as other writers and other books want to write about it, which I feel isn't going to be that many. And thus, the outlawed storyline line comes to a close and does indeed eval Ewing's run on the book. But wait, we're not done yet. We also have a little sneak peek of what the next champion run from Danny Lauren's gonna be. And hey, you know what? Hats off for creativity. We actually get to see members of the Champions going in undercover to Roxxon as interns to try and take them down from the inside. And so that was Champions issue number 5, everybody. And I've said it before, but it bears repeating. I think you'll be hard-pressed to find another comic book story that was more hurt by the coronavirus delays than this one. Which is a shame, because there's actually a pretty good story in here somewhere, one that I think actually rises above what a lot in the comic press, myself included, kind of saddled this book with when it started, and that is, oh, Civil War Jr. It's not that at all. In fact, as we discover, it's a lot more complex, a lot more layered, and a lot more subtle than the other Civil War sequels we got. It's just a shame that it had to end the way it did, basically with a big old non-ending. It all just moves a little too quickly, and the resolutions are all just a little too convenient. They forgive Viv right away because they have to. Roxxon was behind all the really bad stuff, but the Champions also never really come to terms with the stuff that they did that kickstarted all of this in the first place. Which is a real shame, because I think if we got even just one more issue out of this, it would have been enough time to decompress and actually follow up on some of these interesting angles, but alas, 'twas not to be. I hope the next writer has less hurdles out of their control and is able to see their creative vision to fruition. Overall, I'd give this one a 7 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.